It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose. But by them understanding through those who have become Messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion. That is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of a president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look through our soul, we see nothing but we star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Welcome everyone to the 37th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace. It's Tuesday, May 8th, 2018. I'm your host, Rick Crammond. And as usual, we will be joined with Caroline Keshe of the Keshe Foundation. And we will be investigating the World Peace Treaty and the ethos of the Keshe Foundation and of the One Nation teaching today. Okay, I think we're ready to begin. If we can contact Caroline. Are you there, Caroline?
Yes, Rick, I'm here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you have your pot of coffee or tea ready, Rick, and all the other support people in the background to make sure this platform can go public smoothly, and let's have a great time. Because the message today, because of the sequence of events which start popping up everywhere in the last weeks, is the positioning of the world leaders in regard of certain decisions. And we want to make sure that we go on a public platform that you can use your social medias to inform and your neighbors and your friends and your family and your local administrators and your mayors and your politicians, if you are even involved in those, ring a bell again what has already been achieved last year.
Caroline, can you just
Yes?
try moving a little bit? We're just having a little bit of a break up there with you.
Okay, I know what is that getting better now?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I start learning the tricks in the book, but it's good for you to alarm me if I start getting a wobbly voice. It means my network is going down. So we have already signed, we have already united the whole planet. We have committed this planet and all beings on this planet under the World Peace Treaty. It should not go in a dormant state. It should be announced. It should be going out. It should be going into Twitter messages, in wherever you're working on public media and social media. Please send them out. Don't stop. Because do we have an idea, Vince or Rick, how many viewers we have had, or could somebody maybe check in the background to have an idea? Because then we have to start multiplying, because it's only a certain amount of people, because we don't see where they're posting it out. But I know it was a very hot event, and I know a lot of people were online and were watching afterwards. But it would be nice to see if we could have an overall rating of that time. It would be nice if even you yourself remember how many times you posted it out. It is a beautiful platform to share with the world that they are already under the banner of the Keshe Foundation family. They are protected under the peace treaty. It has been extended with so many other things. The Universal Council has brought the Charter for Humanity. The Earth Council has brought the Constitution. We have started putting those parts into the teaching part of the foundation, where people and students and teachers can work together to come to understand the platforms, which then brings us again to the extension and the completion of the commandments. That's why it brings us to the tablet and the platform of what is ethos standing for. How do people interpret ethos? Because we know that a lot of knowledge seekers have signed their peace treaty. We have a Facebook which you can go and sign and divert people there, where they can confirm, I've signed my World Peace Treaty. I keep on looking into that Facebook group. I keep on looking and monitoring the other ones. I keep on letting people to come in. But please don't stop sharing. So if we are going to work on world peace, signing your peace treaty does not just mean physically not harming one another, or never to take up arms, because majority of us don't even do that. So that's why we are so confident to sign it. But there is another ethos, which is more diverse in not being in the path of ethos. And those are the ones which we are trying to come to understand for people. Don't look just because you don't pick up a weapon and you are not violent. That doesn't mean that there is no harm. That doesn't mean that you follow the ethos in the true meaning of ethos. And that's why I want to bring it on the platform to share with you, knowledge seekers, what could you add or what would you add if we could start a new charter or a new topic on our world peace, as Rick is. If Rick has that document, that we can bring our edition of interpreting what is ethos. Because a lot of people have received the commandments. Mr. Keshe has expanded them to the completion. But we all have witnessed that majority must have not been understood, because otherwise it would have been different. So where do we and can we come to the understanding that we can encourage more people how to apply ethos? Who would like to start? Because it will inspire a lot of others which never looked in that direction of the understanding that it's much more than not to harm or hurt somebody in the way not to pick up a gun or a weapon or a knife, or it's more, it's beyond that. What has the ethos meant for you? Can you come and share with us, please?
I'll remind the attendees in the Zoom chat here that they can put their hand up and we can promote you to be able to speak.
If we have no... Sander?
Yes, from Budapest, okay. Hungary.
Okay.
To me, ethos is something very simple, very easy. It's that good sense which we are born with it. It's the behavior which is pro-life. It's the behavior which allows to be alive and to keep all the environment alive. You know, when by accident you hurt somebody for the first time, you step on somebody's toes or you hit by accident somebody, you already feel in your heart that it's wrong, it's something bad. You don't need to be taught about that, because we are born with that. We can be taught about morale, how to behave in certain places, to use right hand or left hand, to wash your hands or whatever that's belonging to morale. Meanwhile, ethos, it's something which is carved in our hearts. Some people try to do against that, and they feel, some of them feel such a big success that they survived and they didn't go to hell after they did something wrong, but they know in their heart that it's wrong. But human mind has invented to lie about reality, and usually if somebody hurts the other, later he will try to find a justification why the other deserved that. I believe man is good by nature. We are not born to harm. But when somebody does something which harms others or harms himself, oh, and we are so talented to harm ourselves, then mind will create some justification for what happened, and just to keep that we were just, which in most of the cases is wrong. You see, you do something bad to somebody near you, and later you will try to find some excuse for why it was. Meanwhile, in so many traditions of all the nations, there is a habit. I lived in Transylvania, part of Romania, in a mixture of cultures of Romanians, Hungarians, Germans, Serbs. It was a multinational part of the city where I lived. And people living in that area had a habit. If you by accident stepped on somebody's toe, he was inviting, you had to invite him to step back, to be even. Why? If you cause the pain, if the other will cause a pain to you too, that will not diminish his pain, but it will make you even, and you will not want to make later a bad heart about and make justifications and do further harm. Both understood that it's the wrong thing. But if it was an accident, it can be solved very easily. How to tell more about that? I don't know how clear is what I'm telling about. So, if we harm to ourselves, if we harm to our friends or families or people around, we know it's bad. If we hurt an animal, if we hurt a plant, we know it's bad. We know it's not good. If we harm some objects, we break a glass or we break a vase. How is a child's reaction when he breaks something by accident? Can you remember that? Probably it happened to all of us in our lifetimes. It's not a good feeling. Wow, something bad happened. So that's why I'm saying ethos, it's something we are born with it. And we should accept that our natural feeling for pleasure when we do something good, and the feeling of pain or sorrow when we do something bad, that's the natural way. There's no need to create later justifications. Why somebody does a justification? He wants to be good and he wants to be just. He wants to be the holiest person in the world. So if, let's say, Ellen hurts Bob by accident or by whatever impulse, later Ellen will try to find some justification for why he was right to hurt Bob. So for him, later Bob will become a mean person who deserves to be hurt. And he will find out later something to criticize in it, and that will poison the relationship. And that's not okay, it's not good. The natural way is for life to keep living, expanding, and that's the natural way. If you look at the emotions, all the positive emotions are to add something to something existing, or to make something good to be even better, or to contribute by something. Meanwhile, all the negative emotions are to stop something which is or which could happen. Which are negative emotions? For instance, hostility. When you shout to somebody, or you make like the turkey used to blow up his chest to show he's big and to scare others to go away. Why? Just to prevent the other to take his space or his food or whatever. It's something, hostility is something to stop. Same is anger. Anger is just an emotion to stop an imminent attack, whether it is real or just imaginary. And fear is, again, it's trying to run away, to go away from something which could happen to you. Not to say about grief, a much deeper and more stronger negative emotion, which wants to stop reality, because that who is in grief is sticking to some memory of a past which never returns, like a dried rose in a book, rest between the pages. And for that who is in grief, present time and future does not exist. He is just trying to hold that up. So you see, man's actions are always connected to emotions. So it's good to keep yourself and keep the others around you in positive emotions, to be able to understand the others. If others do something wrong, don't pay with the same coin. Just try to smoothen off whatever difference it is. Most of the time, only a little love is needed and a little understanding to smoothen the things. So this was my essay. Meanwhile, I cannot hear anything. I don't know, is it muted my speaker?
Nope, you were good. Thank you, Shandor.
Okay, thank you. My headphone just went off. So my radio headphone, so I unplugged it, so now it goes. I can hear you.
Oh, you came in loud and clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This needs a charging time.
Okay, perhaps you should mute there now, Shandor.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, Carolina, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay.
I am. Anybody else? From his perspective? Oh, we're going to need warming up time today, Rick.
Well, that's the case.
Or I'm going to have to start picking names.
Volunteers? You, and you.
Any volunteers coming up, please? Ciao, ciao. Are you present to share your opinion about ethos?
I just promoted him to panelist here.
Hello. Ciao, ciao. Can you hear us?
Yes. I can talk now. Yeah, regarding to your question, so about the ethos. So in my understanding that everything, every stuff in the universe has its own way to of running, like a sun has its own orbit, and as well as other planets. And so for human, and we also have the way to work, to do things, and to behave well. And sometimes we can learn from the nature. Sometimes we can find the ethos from our heart. And in my perspective, I think that we should be transparent, and we go through lots of things, and there's some of them will give some impression and leave some marks on our life. And so we have some emotional reaction to some objects or similar skins. things, or yeah, and so in that way we will have a filter to look at the world. So that's why we have so many like emotional reactions, so sensitive and so attached to some stuff. And to be transparent, it means we can let the energy go through us and don't have so much emotional memory or reactions inside us, and just let the all the energies flow freely through us. And so in that time we will see the world as it is, without a filter. And I believe in that way that we can find the ethos. Just like if we don't have so much emotional reactions, we might not be so angry or so worried or some other negative feelings, and we'll be more engaged to that moment, to enjoy the life and to have the peace and cooperate with others and achieve something great. And so in that time we can find the ethos by letting the energy flow freely through us and get rid of their emotional reactions and be more straight. And that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chao. Anybody else?
I see Fernando has his hand up. I'll allow you to talk there, Fernando.
Do we have somebody to translate, please?
Do we have a volunteer that can translate for Fernando?
Buenos días.
Hi, Fernando. We're just trying to find a translator for you.
Tal vez no sea necesario. Buenos días.
Buenos días or buenas noches, Fernando. Ursula, can you translate, please?
Yes, I will try.
Ok, Fernando, non parlare troppo tempo. Tranquille, per favore. Grazie.
Gracias. Quería preguntar sobre el libre albedrío y si dependemos de los gobiernos para poder actuar nosotros los ciudadanos.
Frases cortas, por favor. He is asking about the free will and if we must have obedience to the governments. Prosigue.
Repeat again, please.
He is asking about the free will and about get obedience to the governments.
In what sense is he asking obedience?
¿En qué sentido deseas manifestar tu obligación de obediencia?
Sobre la libertad principalmente. Si tenemos que seguir lineamientos para la paz.
For freedom, and if we must follow path for be free, for liberty.
I think he said for peace, Ursula.
Wait, for peace.
So haven't you been free to elect the government according to the wish of most of the people of the country? Are you living in a democracy or in a dictatorship?
Pregunta si está viviendo en una democracia o en una dictadura.
Haven't you have your liberty, your freedom to choose who to be your members of government?
Pregunta si eliges tu gobierno, o sea, si puedes votar o tienes libertad tú.
Sí tengo libertad de votar, pero es una situación que pasa a nivel mundial. El gobierno lo tienen los ciudadanos, no los gobernantes.
Say that the power have the citizens and not the government.
So elevate your citizens to decide wisely, to be wise when they have to nominate somebody or to elect somebody.
Entonces hay que elevar las conciencias y el conocimiento de los citadinos para que sean más aptos a elegir sus vidas y sus gobiernos.
Muchas gracias. Y quisiera agregar una cosa.
Thank you very much, and you will add something.
La decisión está en los ciudadanos, no en los gobernantes, porque las monarquías se han terminado y las religiones también. Es cuestión de ideologías y de pensamientos.
He say that the power is in the citizens. They can choose and they have the power to decide.
So the power of any government which is elected in a democratic country is the power of the people who delegated their power to those representatives. So people have the power, but they delegate it to some chosen persons on who they trust. Is it so?
Talking about the same thing, I think. Other words, but the same direction.
Yeah. It's not about obedience to government. It's about obedience to your choice, which you did when you elected the government. You know, you want to play soccer, you want to play football. You get together 22 men or more or less, and you decide who will be in which team and who will be the judge between you. You establish some rules of the game and you agree to follow it. So once you agree to follow, you have to follow it because you agreed.
Yes, I think I can explain. We got some changes today with Fernando. I think there are many with inner wars also, with volcanoes.
If I may, I think what Fernando is trying to bring, which a lot of people have not come to understand, and that is people do not understand that they are fully responsible for their own action. This has nothing to do with obedience. Because if you are correct in your conduct, that is not called obedience. These are the words which have been used everywhere in the social upbringing of humanity. It's placed in a lot of different ways, and people think by following that they submit themselves and that is the meaning of obedience. In all Mr. Keshe's teachings, right across, he says, you are as equal as I am as equal as you are. And that's where your freedom sits. If you understand and you respect, and this is where the conduct and the ethos comes in place. Take responsibility of your own thinking, speaking, directing your whatever you do in your life. As Sander brought at the beginning, Topoli, no. A lot of people, because the word obedience rings a bell with me. We are brought up to be obedient. We are brought up in a lot of structures where this word is being embedded in. And that's what I think Fernando was trying to bring in the open. Has nothing to do with your government and your elections, because we all have come to understand there is a lot more happening than just electing a government. I think the point of this platform is, who are we and how are we conducting ourselves? And if we see that on the outside it doesn't work so well, then I think we have to start within ourselves to see where our own conduct, in understanding the ethos, will bring that change in the outside. Because always remember, you are a magnet. You reposition yourself in who you are, what you are, and you understand and you apply the knowledge. That's why it's so important to know the ethos. And the ethos has nothing to do with obedience, has nothing to do with following, has nothing to do with electing. It's your positioning, your field strength in understanding how will I conduct myself and how do I interpret ethos for myself. And this is the platform which we are trying to find out, where does that get positioned. I know a lot of people are suffering around the world. We know all, but we are here on a platform to bring that change. That's why I opened this session with our World Peace Treaty. Each council member has signed for all the, let's say, Spanish-speaking people on this planet. Whatever country that was not under a council member has been covered by the Earth Council. So each citizen worldwide, each soul is signed into the world peace. It cannot be undone. Secondly, if you ask those questions, Fernando, go and read the Constitution. Most probably it's already been translated in Spanish. If you understand the Constitution, then you know that it does no longer apply to use the word what you just used. I don't even want to repeat it. You can stand for all, but you got to know who you are. You got to know what you carry and what a difference you can make as one person. Because we're all connected. We are all belonging to this planet. And it's our intent and the application of the ethos that will bring that change. And we do not count a few. It's the majority who has already been covered. So you're no weak, you're very strong. Very strong. But now we're trying to find a part of the ethos in the conduct that strength can be applied in the correct manner. Which means you never forget, but you forgive. Because these are the souls or whatever who is not on your level yet of understanding. So be very patient with them. And guide them by your example of applying the ethos in your conduct. You will be the first one who bring the change. Not by becoming what you just named. And that should have been understood. And that's why this platform has started with that topic again. You are so strong. You are so beautiful in your connection because you're already signed into the World Peace Treaty. It's now to put it into work. But if you don't support it 100% and you do not understand 100% what the Constitution is, and then on top of that, we have released the Universal Council Charter of the Soul for humanity and all beings. If we start applying those and understanding, that's when you stand in your strength. And if you're missing parts, that's why we keep on putting the links up for you to go back into the charter, back into the council, the charter of the Universal Council, in the Constitution. If you can't find it there, Mr. Keshe has completed the commandments. If you go through all of them step by step, I think they are the most beautiful guidelines humanity has ever received because they are complete. They will still be adjusted because we are maturing. But don't think you don't have the strength and don't think you don't have the power, Fernando. You are a beautiful soul. I've seen your hard work. I just distributed the translation of the 177 in Spanish. It is absolutely beautiful. But there are so many knowledge seekers which are contributing to this to come out into public. It will come. It just needs time of maturing. Recognize the beauty who you are and stand in your strength. And if you can't do it alone, there are millions of Spanish-speaking people. Just call up and they will be there. I tried to explain it in one of my private teachings. You got the fields around you. Become the attracting point of the field strength you need for serving so many others. And it will be given to you. The same as you made your wish, if you understood through the weeks of we have guiding people through making the wishes. The reason is that when you create the wish, whoever is in the same direction of that wish, you have to look at it from the magnetical point of view that you attract those fields which go in the same direction because they are of the same composition, the same field strength. They come towards where there is a request that shall be given. You already receive before you even can speak it out. That's why we see all these changes. That's why I asked Rick to bring the charter up for you to look back to what a mayhem all of you knowledge seekers in that signing of that peace treaty, the blueprint of the peace, all those wishes have started rolling, and they are still rolling. But they are so big and the wishes are so correct that it takes time, but they are showing their path of the direction which you all wished for. So Fernando, if you understand who you are and you conduct with the right ethos, you will receive the strength, because there are so many around you who are wishing in the same direction. You are so strong, but you got to give it.
Gracias.
You're welcome. Please sign back into your Spanish Universal Council chat room, please. We need your work, we need your support, and we need your knowledge. You're part of the family, so we work together.
Solo se quería llevar la verdad.
Who is this speaking, please? Hello?
Yes, I'm here. I'm chatting, I'm explaining, I'm translating, and Fernando asked that he only wanted to bring the truth, his truth.
Oh, you've been doing a lot of typing. Okay.
Yes. Also with Facebook and sending, in submarine. And with the Latinos, I have met a lot of work that are very emotional. And I take great pleasure to be more quiet, to take this charge of peace, garantized peace. It's not very simple every day, but I enjoy it, and we will get
it. Rick said something, sent me a message, and it was such a beautiful message. I don't know if Rick remembers. He said, it has never existed on this planet. So it must be very difficult for people to find their position, how to work, how to conduct, and what to do with all this. Because it's a huge amount of information, which through their upbringing of a lot of people goes right against to what they've been taught or what they ever even believed in. And it's normal. Do you remember, Rick?
Yes, I remember something about that, yes.
It was so head on, and I said, thank you very much, Rick, because we understand. And that's why we are working as a family, we are supporting. So are there more people with their implementation or their understanding of the ethos, please. Who would like to share?
Hi, Caroline. It's Rui speaking.
Hi, Rui. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello, everyone. I didn't hear what the others one said about it, but when I look at first in the dictionary, what is ethos, because it was a new word, kind of new, but we have the same in my language. So it's principles of conduct and way to be. That's what's written there. And my understanding is that the principles must be the ones from the soul, that comes from the soul, and not the ones that come from your education or your culture, because they are limited to that time, to that region, to that society where you born in or where you are fitting in. And so, not to be too much philosophical, it's everything that belongs to your feelings of the soul, respect of life, and you feel connected with, and you must look for it, and then you understand it. So you should look for I don't want to say correct, but listen yourself, your inside, and always have that ear open, and all the answers are there. Wherever you are, wherever is your education, wherever is your hereditary of knowledge, whatever. If you listen inside, when you face the truth, or at least what fits to you, we recognize it right away. So for me, it's what means to ethos, it's to be balanced in your truth. So putting in words that we can say nice things, it's good things, not the bad things, but we already realize that bad things sometimes they come for good, for we realize things. So I don't want to go to that way or that path, but just listen yourself, your inside, your voice, and I mean your heart, because if we go by the brain, you may get lost in the rationalized things, logical, and you lose yourself there. Just feel your heart. That is for me the ethos. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Rui.
Hello, Caroline. Pete. Hello, everyone.
Oh, Gatwa, you're awake. Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah,
welcome.
Thank you very much. Now that my wish is displayed here, it reminds me, and let me read it first. We elevate the souls of all people living in abject poverty in order to enable them to improve their living conditions. We elevate the souls of all those who create poverty conditions for others in order to enable them to change their ways towards improving lives for others. This reminds me that it's very important that we find it in ourselves to elevate the souls of the wrongdoers, not just give to those who are doing well. To give, to elevate from our souls in order to elevate the souls of those, for example, those who want war. And in giving them peace, then they will change their ways. Also, looking at the very important one-sentence summary of ethos, Keshe Foundation ethos, we are here to serve and not to be served. It's very important that we actually don't just say that, but mean it. And in order to mean it, we have to understand it and look at it and what does it mean to serve? We question ourselves, and then we do those things that we know will be serving. We know giving is serving, and you don't have to give something physical. You just give good wishes, or you give to elevate, you give from your soul to elevate other souls. So if we can find it easy to do this all the time, whatever we do, like let's say, for example, we are making guns, or we are making reactors of one kind or another, to always wish that those reactors we make, or those ganses that we make or collect, do good to humanity and to bring peace throughout the world and the universe. Then we'll get into a system where we are always giving. If you can find a way of doing that, then sooner or later you find that your wishes continuous, become your uh, command over time. Because one thing that is lacking in us, especially, what I've found for myself is trusting oneself to be really the creator of what we want to do. That trust, we may just say it's easy, but it's very difficult because you say that you want to create peace, but then if you doubt that you can create peace, then you have not been very effective. So we should find it in ourselves to trust ourselves, and then our wishes will become stronger, and our service will become better and better each day. That's all I have to add for now. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Gatwa.
You're very welcome. Thanks.
Pete, are you present?
Yes, I am. Hello, everybody. And you are reading my thoughts because I just wanted to come in 3 minutes ago before Dr. Gatwa started talking. So very good timing, Caroline. Thank you. Ethos. Yes, I think this is the light we all carry. This is, something embedded in us that we are born with, same as Sandor said, and it's nothing to do with any governments or obedience to anything, because governments work, even though we elect the governments, they work according to their own agenda. So quite often they, sell, you can say they sell their souls to the devil, you could call, by looking at financial gains. So instead of representing who they truly are and representing the nation, they start having different agendas. So, but that's their problem. That's what they do with their physicality. And these are the affairs they choose to live with. But we are all born with the same light in us, with the same sun. We all shine the same. And I don't think we need any religious leaders or anybody to tell us how to behave, because we all know, and this knowledge is written down in the form of commandments or the charter or the Earth Constitution. And these are just words for us to comprehend, something that's, untangible, something that's beyond, anybody's comprehension, beyond the words with which we try to put it down. Same as prophets of the past, they left the writings, they left writings for men to understand. Obviously, they did not use terms such as plasma, magnetical gravitational fields, and so on, because that wasn't suited for the audience, and they would not understand. The science wasn't at that level to talk these terms. So they used other words, words that were familiar to the people at that time. And now we evolved, the humanity evolved, and this is a big step now. And the signing of the peace treaty was a big step for humanity to unite and recognize that we all are obedient to the creator within us. And we often said that the soul is equal to peace, so we just have to let the peace inside of us shine so that we do, and it's reflected in the physicality so that we behave in line with our soul rather than try to cover up and do all sorts of other things which we are exposed to, where we perhaps, as I mentioned, the money or some other gains, putting ourselves above the others. This isn't in line with who we are. So it's just, I think it's about education. It's about understanding what our true nature is, and just listening to the inner voice, you can say. You immediately know what's right, what's wrong. And as Sandor said, even if you break something, an object that's not physical, and to you may seem not to have a soul, your immediate reaction is that you regret this action, you regret the fact that it's broken. So somewhere deep inside, we all feel, we all have these instincts or conscious, or however we call it, which is the light in us. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Do we have other people who want to come and share their awareness of knowledge? You see anybody putting hands up, Rick?
Nope, not seeing any particular hand. Oh, there's a hand up, just as I said that. Stefan, let me allow you to speak there.
Hi, I'm from Denmark. I have another problem. Your website is down, so it's not working from my internet location, and I have also tested from another internet location. So keshefoundation.org, that's a server issue on the web host. So I cannot come on this website. Can you please try on your computer?
No, nobody else is having trouble with it. Perhaps it's in your local country. Perhaps Denmark is blocking it, or somebody in the local area.
Or a local firewall.
Oh, it has as a it was working on the evening or on the morning or so. There was no problem, but yet so the issue is coming direct from the web server. So I'm working with websites and computer systems. I can understand that the issue is coming direct from the web host and not from my ISP or other internet firewalls.
I am right now. Sorry, I'm trying right now to connect via a VPN exit point in Denmark, and it comes up beautifully. No issue there. By the way, it can be an issue with your IP address locally. If you use a
I think he should probably try www.keshefoundation.org. I think that domain is working fine, and you should be able to access it through there.
Yes. Okay. I try again. So I cannot understand what as the issue. As the issue is in geolocation error issue. So I try again. So thanks.
No problem.
Okay, where were we? We've got, let's see, that's definitely Barbara. Barbara has her hand up. Let's see what Barbara has to say. Go ahead.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello. Caroline, I have I want to say something, but it's not directly to the ethos, but you also were speaking about the wishes, which are very powerful and effective. And if it's like this, and I recently saw a video, 10 minutes video about the situation in Yemen. The video was taken last year, in summer last year, or 1 year ago in May, I think it was. So I would like to share it, but I found out that the Google address of this video doesn't work anymore. I only have it in the tablet, and I don't know on my tablet. And I don't know whether we can share it like this if you want.
No, we can't share any videos unless we have express permission.
Okay, then we have to do it without. The other thing, and with that comes, why, if we are so strong, would it be a good idea if we that we install now all together a protective and enlightening dome over the whole country or the whole territory of Yemen, and to stop instantly all fightings forever and enrich all the water. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot something. Also to a protective and enlightening dome over the whole country, and of course to stop instantly all the fightings forever and enrich all the water with CO2 and CNO, and all the drinking water additionally with CH3, because the people are so much starving on hunger and illnesses with diarrhea and diphtheria and malnutrition. So that I think for me, it would be a good idea if we can do it all together. If you all think that makes sense. We have put Yemen quite a few times on our wishing charter. I'm going to tell you a story. Maybe it might be very strange, and maybe it might be shocking, but maybe it might shed a different light on understanding why certain things are in certain positions. If you have heard that airplane which the engine run into problem mid-flight, the pilot was trained military and she was a woman. So a piece of that engine flew into one of the windows, which automatically created like a vacuum, and her body just went halfway stuck into the window. They managed to grab the woman and to hold her in that position. They couldn't pull her back in. And in the whole event, even the communication was going that the pilot said, never mind, I cannot repeat her exact words, but in a way, we have a different priority, meaning getting the plane down on the ground, saving the rest of whoever was on board. And she managed to do it. I try to explain that if there are events happening, we not always see the beauty why they are happening. And I'm using specific words like beauty and events, because nobody stands still that that woman, in so many ways, sacrificed herself to save all of the others. But nobody in a situation like this ever looks at a condition like that, because we are not being shown, and that's what I was trying to explain last time. There are things happening, but we don't know why they're happening. It's the time that then shows, because if you know before, then that cannot take place for the beauty of, no matter how it looks, to show at the end. Mr. Keshe is speaking about it in a lot of his public platforms, but people don't seem to be able to grasp. That's why I'm trying to explain it in this simple story, that one soul has saved a whole plane, but nobody looks that she actually sacrificed herself to be able to save the whole plane. So what if you go and look in the position of, on this planet, we have so many souls crying. And so many events are unfolding. I think it is depending on what we decide with the information that we see what is going on, through our decision and our responsibility, where we stand to give for them to see its beauty. Do you understand what I tried to tell you?
Maybe partly, because I think, I think, but I'm wondering, or I'm asking myself, then where is the borderline where we should help and where we should not help? Because there might be a beauty in it, and
No. You misunderstood. You're saying, where is the borderline? Should we help or should we not help? That borderline never existed. It's the positioning, how strong are we to give for that situation to change. But why does nobody ask in the first place why it is in that position? Isn't it there so that you can accumulate so much field strength that you are the decision maker? And this is something which I'm trying to bring on the platform, and Mr. Keshe, so many times. If we are all equal, what do we have short to create even individual that change? have we first accepted who we are and what we are? Have we acknowledged how powerful we are just by our positioning? And how much are we willing to give in the understanding with the knowledge that we can? But there are certain events that need to take place that we cannot change. And I always remember, and Rick remembers it well, and Vince too, and Sander definitely as well. That was when I requested the wish, you know, at the time of the storm. And Rick said, no, 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 you cannot change that field strength. Do you remember, Rick?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what was the reason? You cannot interfere because then you divert it somewhere else, don't you?
Right. You never really know what the results are from those actions, how it reverberates in other places.
But isn't it always like this? That we don't know what is in the other side? Because we don't look from above, we look from our point of view?
We are only looking from the point of view of what we understand. Yeah. I would have never stood still when Rick, but that was the point that had to be made, the same point as I never stood still that one soul could save a whole plane. But that's exactly what I'm trying to bring on the table. There is something beautiful in that condition, but we don't see it yet.
This, I understand what you want to say and what you say, and I think it also. But we have to act from our position, for this position in which we are now, what we can see, what we feel from our heart to do.
Yes.
Or
yes.
From our soul. So my question originally was how strong we could be, we all together in this platform, for example. Could we install a dome, for example, above Yemen, so that there will come no more bad things in, and enlighten them in the same time from inside, that they can...
But, my darling, you got to look, why is Yemen in that position? They didn't do it themselves.
Some sure. There's half of the Houthi are Yemenis. They are fighting, but they They do it because they are forced to do somehow. I know.
No. My question is, Yemen is not in that position. They did not create it themselves. The people which are suffering, which have diphtheria, they have diarrhea, they have all the suffering, they are starving. They have not created that position. We have to go and work towards the people who have created this position. And then you will see the result with the people from Yemen. So it's not Yemen we have to target. You got to change the position which put Yemen in that position. And the ones which are responsible who have created that condition. It's the same as, look at Syria. Syria has not created that condition, and they're getting bombed, and they're getting flattened, and they're getting suffering, and but it's not the Syrians themselves in so many ways which are bombing themselves. So you need to go and look where you can increase the field strength, that the ones which have, let's say, put that lockdown there, that they release that lockdown.
Yes, but I don't know exactly whom they are. So of course we can.
But if it goes into your wish, you will reposition them. Because your field strength will go to their field strength. No matter you know the name or you don't know the name. You just go for the truth, that the truth may be revealed. Then you can work with comes on the surface. Then it can show itself. You got to go to a few to serve the majority.
Yes, then let's do it.
If you want to give your wish to Rick, please, we can work on it.
Do you want me to type it in now, you mean?
If she wants to, if Barbara wants to add anything to this wish, which is already in place with the pictures and the people, I think we have to add something for it to reveal why they have come into this situation, because it's not the people of Yemen themselves. And the position in Yemen has not changed. And this is the second, and this is now the third time Yemen or the fourth time Yemen comes on the table. So our energy field strength is not going to where it should go. If I know the perpetrators, then you can go there. But we do not know exactly what is going on with Yemen. So I think we need to create the wish for the truth to be revealed, why Yemen is in this deadlock. And then we can work.
And the second part of the wish was that we create a clean water in that way, that we enrich the water with different ganses, which is necessary, so that it may rain Gans water or whatever the water which is in the country, which they're using, which they're drinking, and what they're cleaning with and washing themselves, and so that this will be good and clean and healthy water.
Yep.
And they have the problem is also increasing because of war, of course. The people are not paid anymore, and the garbage collecting service doesn't work anymore. So that's easy to create this epidemic. So if isn't it that one what we can do for them? Even they are not, it's not their fault and whatever, but they are in the situation, and can't we help them in this way? Or support them or whatever? With the wish of clean and installing of clean water?
That's part of the physicality level, but that's not really the realm of the way we help in this group primarily.
Yes, like, but what we are doing every day with the Gans water, it's all physically.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But we also give from our souls to elevate others.
Don't we do it if we wish it?
The active
we do it from our soul.
Pardon me?
We wish it from our soul. We are not paid for it. It's our wish.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So if you're going to wish would you wish to, if you're going to wish, then you should get to the root of the problem rather than trying to address the problem directly. So this is what Caroline was talking about, is that there needs to be an elevation of understanding, of compassion and so on in this situation. And it's not the people that need to be elevated, the people that are being suppressed or abused. It's not the abused people that need to be elevated. They're already well elevated. It's the ones that are doing the abusing that need to be elevated. That's who we give from our soul to elevate them. The leaders and the corporations and the warmongers and the people that
and the
are
soldiers
and making money off.
And the soldiers doesn't need to be elevated.
The soldiers are just doing their job from those
Yes,
that they're told, and doing what they're paid to do.
But if we can
above,
elevate them, they will not fight anymore. They don't listen to the upper ones anymore.
Okay, well, if you wish, then that you can.
How they can listen if they are subordinate, if they are not free.
Well, that's the problem. Yes. So
if you want to wish them the freedom.
Mm-hmm. So
I know the problem with Yemen. I lived there for nearly 3 months, and I know them very well. Problem is they are subordinate, and two parties there fighting.
Yes.
And these two parties, they are not fighting for their land. They are fighting for others, in behalf of others. Yes. Short of knowing, short of understanding. They have short of so many things. Understanding and knowing, I think it will bring peace to this land. And really, they need freedom. The Arabic world is very difficult because whatever you say, whatever you do, they are in another different path. Whatever comes to them, they put it in different way, in different thinking. But actually, they don't know that they are the creators of their position.
Yeah, this is quite true. But who of us knows it? Yeah.
How could we word a wish that would be appropriate for that situation, like with what Jalal said and what Barbara said and so on, to try to, like, obviously we have compassion for the whole situation, and we can subdivide it into all the different issues and try to come up with solutions and this kind of thing. But if we were to simply give from our soul, what do we give to in terms of something to concretely give to elevate? What part of that situation do we elevate? Like Jalal mentioned, if they had more understanding and more knowledge about their position, they could perhaps, make greater changes and so on. How can we approach that in a giving kind of way?
But the man who is...
you see, Barbara, you see, Rick, can you see when this wish was put down, the time frame?
This is part
Can
of
you
it.
find that back? Because the wish is there. We wish for Yemen to restore peace, tranquility, and abundance, and that humanitarian aid is delivered so that the gates would open up for the ships to bring in the supplies. There is more because they already received that wish. We have to go to the ones which are putting the blocking up.
Yes, this I understand. But
because it's not Yemen itself which is...
I know. I understand that, Caroline. Discrepance is with me, which shows daily we give to other people the guns water because they suffer from anything, from any symptom. Without, or mainly, we don't know what the reason behind is, and almost no one knows the reason behind it because they didn't learn to think about it. So we just give it, and they discover, and they feel good, and then we say, "Haha, it very well, very well done."
Okay, Barbara, what we are trying to explain, darling, what we are trying.
Caroline, I want to finish the sentence completely. And in that case, if for example a patient is very sick, very much sick, and he is not able in that moment to learn to find out and whatever what the reason for that is, so he doesn't have, because he doesn't have the strength. So that's the situation in Yemen now. They don't have the strength to change all their thinking and to learn what the situation, because they are on the pressure of these outside forces to fight against each other. And the whole country is already almost disturbed. The people, so many thousands of children died already, and because of malnutrition and dirty water and infections. So in this situation, if there is, of course, they themselves can't go out from this situation. They can't change now, but if they are becoming stronger and if they get their clean water back and recover a bit, and the fight is stopping in the same time, and the pressure from outside, two things have to come together that they can develop again.
Now, are you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I try and what we try to explain to people, apparently is still not fully understood. That is exactly what I was just explaining to Fernando. If I put you on a plane and I send you with all the gas waters you want to go and cover a whole country. Now, I give you another choice. You stay where you are and you create the field strength for them to receive through your soul. You can cover instantly the whole country, number one. Number two, you will receive all the field strength from all the knowledge seekers which are working in the same direction of this process in understanding to work through the soul. You will deliver. I'm not finished, Barbara. You will deliver instant, faster, if that will serve the purpose for the souls which are there present.
Yes,
And
as
it's
I was
not,
saying before, from the beginning,
and
I was saying that.
it's not them, because that wish has already been released more than once. We are targeting the wrong direction. Who is blocking for them to receive the aid they need? Because the ships are in the ports. They just locked the ports. They have stopped preventing the supplies to go in. They are literally starving the people inside Yemen. So we need to work exactly the same path through our soul to the ones which are putting up the blocks. We got to release the blocks.
Yes.
And then the people will simultaneously, because we work on that which is already in place, but something is not going through. There must be a reason. It's because we don't understand, we don't see the beauty of it, that pushing, it means something is not understood. So we have not directed our energy to where it should go. So does anybody know who's blocking the ships to go in and who is using that monopoly to starve a whole nation? Because those are the ones who are going to have to receive more than the people of Yemen. But at the same time, we are covering the people in Yemen. And that's the only way I can see that it can work. If I want to stop a war, it's no use me chasing all the soldiers which are shooting the bullets. I have to go and chase the ones which are the masterminds, which set up the plan and which have given the orders to execute the war. Not the ones which are getting shot down and not even the ones which are shooting.
As Mr. Kass saying, don't go to the soldier, go to the general.
Exactly. Yeah. You got to go to the ones which have positioned Yemen in that position. Who are they?
As I know, the Saudis, the Americans, Iran, and what other country was there mentioned? I forgot.
So the wish should be that the truth comes on the table, that it reveals itself the reason why, and make sure they're all included, the ones which have partaken in this master creating of this plan, that at least the world starts to know why and who. Because then you have the tools where to direct your energy. Because I have worked on Yemen already 2 or 3 times. It's not moving. It means we have missed the point where to direct our field strength. We are trying to clean up, but it's not the cleanup that is so important. It's the ones which have inflicted this position.
Maybe it's in the religion area.
Whatever it is, we can only create one wish, that the situation about Yemen comes on the surface, that the truth gets revealed, and then we can get into action. Because that will be the only thing that will be working in the benefit of people of Yemen, that we can release them from whatever chain they have been put in.
Okay. I only want to mention that from the beginning, I didn't want it to interact physically. I only had what I was saying also, the wish from my soul, and not going there and doing anything, because that it's not possible at all. But it's
yes. You see, that's exactly what I don't understand. Why do you?
Not possible
Why
to
do
go
you?
there now.
No.
possible to, that's what I'm saying. It's not possible to go there and do and help them and physically there.
But you can be there. You don't need to use your physicality.
Yes, I know. That is what I mean. What I wanted to say. Why we implement a wish, or why implement that all in our wish.
Barbara?
Yes.
Everything's happened for a purpose.
I know.
And maybe this is task for us, as Caroline said, to target the highest.
Yes, I agree fully.
Okay, so then all we need, if we all agree, all we have to do is agree on the words that we can put in that would clarify that wish for us all, that we can agree on. And I see Estella has her hand up, and she often has some clarity to add. So perhaps we can listen to her and then come up with a statement here. Estella, do you have some wise words of wisdom for us?
Morning, everybody. I see my vision is seeing as already happened. Time doesn't exist. And I see when we put the wording as restore, I want to say like it's already restored. And I'm feeling it, that they're awake and they are strong and they have abundance. And I'm feeling myself as and that's position, because my feel is part of the strength that get to arrive to that position. Because we are communicating at the soul level, and whoever feel, because pain and fear and all those emotions, take your strength away, and you feel like, there is no solution, or someone is controlling you because you lost your power. Restoring the inner power of the fields comes by us sharing our strength, that they are doing it. And the persons they are blocking, I believe when you are in that state of not trusting yourself, you're blocking. So whoever is about us to, think again, reposition and restoring the feeling strength that comes from our essence, the central sun. Because the more we bring from trusting ourselves here, we get stronger. So, and not thinking as separate, we are part of. And I understand what Caroline said about the lady who died in the plane. And yes, she's correct. Unfortunately, we learn to always look at the negative side, but not the positive side why things happen. And I think in this position, probably is whatever is happening is because we need to wake up and be part of united, we strong stand for peace and for freedom, for cooperation. And that's our position right now, is to see from outside when we are not having a war, we're not suffering how these people are suffering, but they are suffering because we need to see it and take a position of like they are not alone. So I just know when I say I am love, I'm shining love. But if I say I wanna experience love, I put myself in a position I'm outside of love. But if I'm saying I am love, I'm saying it's a command. I am love. So that's what, in my end, I mean, I'm not that. It just is a different of position of saying I'm something at this moment strong. So that's my only little grain saying. But
sorry, there's a lot of microphone noise there, Stella. It's getting hard to hear you. You might have to adjust something or stop something from rubbing on the microphone. Thank you.
But is it better?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is it better now?
Yes, much better. We hear the birds in the background too.
Sorry. But I don't know if you guys listen what I said. Oh.
Yeah, we could hear what you said. Yes, it was just some background noise. It was a bit hard to focus.
So that's the only I wanna say is about communicating from the soul, feeling, taking a position as we are there and we are joining fields to people feel what we feel, and everything balancing in peace, seeing the peace, feeling the peace. So and I have a question. This is something to discuss. I know some people or positions that they want the opposite, but sometimes when you bring what you want to bring with this peace and abundance and love, it's, I think, because it's stronger, the other one cannot act, so unlock itself because the balance. So I think what we need is a strong feel of you know, irradiating the peace is experience and the freedom and a new state of feel. So, and trust that we have the power. Thank you.
Thank you, Stella. Okay, maybe someone can help with clarifying a statement that we can move forward with for Yemen, according to some of the input we've had. Can anyone offer some suggestions? Okay, well, maybe not.
I think Jalal has a good idea.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Why do you think I'm calling your name?
Really, I'm thinking to put my wish in for Iraqis to the Yemenis, because even the Yemenis is very beautiful and hospitality and beautiful, simple people, beautiful people, really. So if I will put this my wish to the Yemenis also.
Go ahead, yeah. We get an idea that we can work on.
Do you have a one-liner that I can put in here, Jalal?
Okay, give me 2-3 minutes. Let me concentrate.
Okay.
Thank you.
In the meantime, in the meantime, that Jalal has started for this Yemen, I think you're all aware that in about 2 hours, Trump will announce Iran nuclear deal decision. So I think core team that we can work on this one, because the whole of Europe has said to keep the deal where it is. So we know that we only have two people which we have to concentrate on. That's Netanyahu and Trump. So if we can create a wish, we don't need to use names, but we know that we have to work in that field strength towards that. As I said last time, funny enough, I've been following it from a distance, which is very unusual. And I think we can create a beautiful wish. So Rick and Vince and Sander, you're from the core team. I'm asking your support.
Well, we are definitely here to support.
And we are looking for the puppeteer and not for the puppets.
Yep.
And we wish to give from our souls to elevate the souls of others. That is the main job. So
bring them peace.
There's no negativity. Yeah. Imagine if those world leaders felt so much peace in their hearts that they no longer had a need to invade other countries or harass other countries or, you know, cause disruptions on the planet, and decided to cooperate with each other, because that is the natural way when you open your heart and you elevate. So elevation is the way. And we can all give from our souls to elevate others. That's the way of the universe, and it's the easy way. We don't have to go out with semi-trucks full of GANS water to pass out personally to every single person involved in that situation. We can simply give from our souls, and everyone knows the word give and everyone knows the word soul, so it's simple.
There is no distance it does not span.
Right. And not to say we can't still give out GANS water. I think that's a great idea. The more semi-trucks that we can elevate and send over, float over to Yemen, the better. So
may this day be the day of peace.
I am present.
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 I am present with the peace I have in me. Thank you.
Now all we need is that statement from Jalal. Have you thought enough yet, Jalal? Or you have, sorry,
I am thinking with you guys. I am wishing with you.
Have you not thought enough?
Not yet. 2 more couples minutes.
We do also have to understand that to be peaceful within ourselves, no matter who you are, is providing that to the rest of the universe as well. So we all pick up on that, and we use that strength to be able to provide that peace to others. And that's what our job, excuse me, that's what our job is as the core team.
May our elevation and understanding and compassion be filled with all those that they are blind by greed, power, corruption. They have the opportunity to elevate with our elevation so they can take a new position. That's my wish.
I am present in that wish.
I am present.
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 I think we're getting closer to what we want to say to the situation in Yemen. What do you think, Caroline?
Yep. I think it might be a very good idea, something which brought the spark of thinking that way because of the discussions. If you have noticed how many people are out in the open, walking and standing in peace, proclaiming what they think is right. What if each one of us gives from our soul to all those people which are literally standing in the open, demanding the change, that we elevate their souls, that they can stand in more strength than what they are walking with at this moment. It's happening everywhere. It's happening in France, it's happening in Armenia, it's happening globally. People come and walk, and it's not a few thousand, it's thousands of people. They are in the open, they are walking. Something must have had inspired them to be there, but I think it's time for us to add to their souls, because they are there walking for a purpose. We can make them to represent in their purpose so much stronger if we give from our soul. Wherever at this moment they are raising their voice, because all their voices are calling for peace, for change, for correctness, and to be acknowledged that they are the majority, that they need to be taken care of. I give from my soul to every single soul that stands up in the name of peace. I am present.
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 Present.
I am 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 present.
Are you ready, Jalal?
Yes, nearly. In the history, what we heard about Yemen, that if you want the wisdom, you go to Yemen. And unfortunately, all these past years, they didn't have this wisdom. So I wish them to bring back the wisdom. They have it in their genes. They have it, Rick.
To return to their...
To regain their wisdom?
Yeah, they have it. They have it.
That's exactly what I was going to state. Not exactly, but along the lines of what I was going to state earlier. When I first heard of Yemen decades ago, back when I was studying about the Sufis and some of the mystic groups from, you know, foreign lands and so on, the Yemeni stood out as a place where the people were simple, like you were saying, but also had this certain special wisdom. Their, you know, shamans and priests were considered high up in the realm of elevation and in their abilities and so on, and had that wisdom, that knowledge. So perhaps that is a big part of what that's all about in Yemen. That's maybe one of, or part
One
of
of the keys. Yeah, one of the mysteries. Yes.
This is like their power. This is their source for them. They don't have, they have little else. They build their, you see this building here. They're famous for multi-story buildings made out of mud. They found a way to do it that it doesn't crush the mud, basically, and they were able to build from literally the mud around their feet. And that's all they have to work with, but they have knowledge still. So this is what is important, it seems like, in their relationship with the outside world, perhaps. If we can acknowledge their strength in their wisdom and knowledge, perhaps if that came to play, it would help enlighten their situation and those that are dealing with them.
Rick, there is a missing word in that sentence. Perhaps we wish.
Yes, thank you. I wasn't
You're
sure it
welcome.
was we or I, so it ended up neither. And I thanks to you, Gatua, I put in, we elevate others so that they may take a new position.
Thank you very much.
I put the that in there because I know you're a that person and like that.
Thank you. And could we also add a new position for what?
Can I interfere, please?
Mm-hmm.
If you elevate others so that they may, you are not sure they're gonna do. You always have to confirm your wish complete.
Okay. So that they will, or is it, but they still have to take, they have to make the decision so they can take a new position?
No, darling. A wish always has to confirm. You always have to demand before you can receive completeness. If you are hesitating, where is the wish is going to go?
Mm-hmm.
You don't confirm they already have it. It's already existing. You just need to wake it up because you give it from your field strength for it to show itself. But they are already carrying it.
Okay, so then the other problem is, like Gata was mentioning, or about this new position, and we have to complete the sentence there. So if I take out the may, so that they take a new position, we don't want just any position. We want a new peaceful position, a new...
We elevate others to take, we elevate others in the position of what?
Well, this is it.
What position do you want to elevate them into?
Well, a position of peace and compassion and a higher vision.
What if we use the word reposition in peace?
So that they reposition in peace?
Yeah, their new position will be peaceful. If they are not now, we reposition them to be peaceful.
And having the wisdom, like, or active.
But who are the others?
Yes. The
what if we use the term, we elevate for the truth to come in the open so that Yemen can reposition itself in a peaceful manner?
Say that again. That's different than what we're... Here we're elevating others. You're saying what again? To elevate the Yemen?
We elevate so that the truth It comes so fast that I don't even remember what I said.
Yeah,
Somebody
well,
picked up my words.
that's the problem. We elevate so that the truth can reposition Yemen in peace. I think it's something like that. But we have to
If
bring
if they are in a not good position, yeah, we got to elevate. So we need to get something to work with for them to be able to reposition themselves, because they are not the creator of that. So we're working to the others who are the others, so that Yemen can reposition itself. So you need to have the E and the B.
So we have to reveal the others first so that they reposition themselves in peace.
Yeah.
So we
have to reveal the cause why Yemen is in such a lockdown.
Okay, how do we equate the elevation with this idea of truth or revealing? So we don't elevate others, then
we need to elevate that the situation, what has created that comes on the surface, that it comes in, gets exposed, that then it can be dealt with. Others can be the whole planet, but it's not the whole planet. It's
Can we elevate the situation to bring it all up?
No, that's not where the problem sits.
So how is how does elevation tie into revealing, or what is the elevation?
I'm gonna ask you one question. Do Yemen, as Yemen people, do they fight with one another, or are they peaceful living with one another?
Both. At the moment, they fight. Two groups of Yemenis fighting against each other. And both groups are sponsored from different lines.
It's like a family feud with ancient families.
So we can elevate them to put their differences down so that they can reposition themselves in a peaceful manner. And not others, but we elevate the people of Yemen so they can put their differences down, so they can reposition themselves in a peaceful manner. That's then the internal problem which is getting solved.
But as you said before, it's not them. It's not their fault.
No. If you have an internal problem, yeah, they have to be elevated to put their differences down, no matter who's fusing them. If they can deal with their own differences towards each other by elevating them, then they will become to a peaceful manner. The second one, which still stands as we elevate the others, that are the instigators from outside that need to receive for them to stop. But that's what my question was. I didn't know they were having fights among themselves. So that is getting dealt with too now. So we don't elevate others, we elevate the people of Yemen so they put their differences down reposition themselves in a peaceful manner. So that's already in the wish, it's done. The second part is that we need to create a platform because nobody internationally is responding to supply them with any help. We already have requested for the gates to open up for them to receive the help. So that's not where the problem sits. The problem sits who are the orchestrators, that has to come onto light so that then that can be dealt with. Nobody knows who is working in secret to keep Yemen in a lockdown. So we got to request for that to be elevated so that secrecy goes out of the window. Because once it's in the open, then people can respond. So we have now dealt with the problem which internally exists. Now you have to find a platform for the truth to come on. I don't know how to put it, but now you got to deal with the people who are the instigators. And the only way is that the real truth about Yemen lockdown will be revealed.
Or exposed.
Yeah. So then you can deal because it's the truth. Then you can work with, because now everybody is guessing who's where doing what. Nobody knows. So nobody can intervene or break that chain because it's like hidden. But once you know, you can deal with it. Because then all the puppets come on the table.
Rick, you removed that thought.
Pardon me? Remove which again, Gato?
You may have removed that. T-H-A-T. So
right there.
That's correct.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
No.
Down their differences or end their differences.
No. It has to be, we elevate the people of Yemen to put their differences down and reposition themselves in a peaceful manner. Because when you use the wrong words, you don't confirm. They are putting the differences down. Even two is not correct. The people of Yemen put their differences down and reposition themselves in a peaceful manner. Then it's done. So put has to be out. It is very, very, very...
The two must be out, not the put.
The two...
So, but the elevation, do we take elevation out as well and just say the people of Yemen put their differences down?
No, because the main topic tonight was that they need to receive a lot. So by elevating the people of Yemen,
so as they put their differences down?
Yeah, something in a confirming it's done. not guesswork or they might be. No, always work because I see that it's done. So I cannot play with maybe.
Okay,
It's very important.
Let me read the statement as I have it here. Then we elevate the people of Yemen as they put their differences down and reposition themselves in a peaceful manner.
Yeah.
How about as they end their differences?
Yeah.
Okay.
Voilà.
I am present in that wish.
I am present.
I am present. And we wish for the truth, not behind. We wish the truth in concerning Yemen or in concerning the situation with Yemen to be revealed in a truthful manner, not exposing, in a truthful manner. It's very important that you use the word truth.
So how would it go again? Because it started.
We wish the truth, not for, we wish the truth concerning the situation in Yemen to be revealed or exposed. I don't know what is the best wording. And I would love to make one more wish for today, especially in regarding the World Peace Treaty and the signing of it. That is that with what we have observed in the press and global, they are getting away with murder, as we say. I think it is time for the truth globally to come on the table. No matter who is involved, that is standing for every single tree, every single animal, every single human being that is getting harmed on this planet. Because if we say no more is no more. Can you put that in wording, Rick?
I don't think so, but if you can help guide me a little bit, yes. Give me a few starter words again.
As we are seeing,
this is separate from the whole Yemen, right?
This is the day. What we could say, you know, globally, every single soul, doesn't matter if it's an ant or a mosquito or a tree or a flower or a cow or a sheep or a human, should be, come on people, don't let me make it by myself. They are all receiving injustice, a lot of them. Can we create the world, the words of that every single soul receives correctness? Would that cover everything in that one word? Because then we don't play judges.
Well, this is what I typed from what you said, but it's not what you said. Every soul, be it plant, animal, or human, has a right to exist in correctness. And I could stand corrected. Is that what you're trying to say, or what? How would you modify it?
I'm asking people to add to it.
Okay.
To receive according to each requirements.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
What is the difference between us as a knowledge seekers and the other people? It's one word.
There is no difference. We are all souls.
Yes, but why we acting like this and why the other people acting differently? Isn't that the awareness should be there?
It's for us to reach the ones which don't have that awareness yet, to reach them so that they can evolve to that point of correctness. We need to create the path that they can receive it. Because if it's not there, we are the ones which are making the path for them. We are no different. It's just that they are in a different field strength.
Yes, that's what I mean.
So come on, Jalal. Put the puzzle together. Because each one of us, if it's matter of vaccinations as children, if it's matter of illness, if it's matter of toxification, if it's matter of poisoning, if it's matter of social injustice, if it's matter of behaving, it doesn't matter. It is everywhere around this planet. And just wishing peace, I don't think it ignites sufficient enough. I think they need to receive more. So what can we give them more that correctness starts appearing? So if we add to the field strength so that they can stand in their correctness, then all those little things or big things will, not that they're little, but I mean those things or facts will start fading away. The same as we created the wish for each one, which is now at this given moment in all different parts of the world, they're marching. But what are they marching for? They're walking, they're coming out of their houses, they're standing in front of their leaders with more or less the majority of the wish, this has to stop. They had enough. Correct? Now, we also have to reach the ones which are still what we call badly behaving, so that the animals, the trees, and everything else can receive that part of us giving.
Yes, accept our
gift.
Giving. Yes.
Yeah. So we can make the wish that every soul, be it whatever Rick has typed out, receives our gift or of giving. So, ladies and gentlemen, will we go back to see the work we done last year in July and August? Take the letters, the links, and post them out, but not with the message of that it's been done, but with the confirmation text. You are already signed under the World Peace Treaty. Come, we invite you to sign your World Peace Treaty. And plaster it wherever you can. Inform your children that they know they belong already to the peace. Because if nobody tells them, how can they know? If you know people in radio stations, make them aware. Because you have the proof. It's there, it's signed, it's already been sealed. They will say, what? Say, yeah, go and look up your country and see for yourself you've been signed in the World Peace Treaty. That will make people, a lot of people, very curious to go and look for themselves. And then you can give them the link, and then they will recognize their own flag and their signing of their paper. Or just take a copy of a screenshot of that country signed with the flag and send them out. Just confirming them they are signed in the peace treaty. They don't need to worry. If you know rallies are going on where we just know, stand maybe on the sideline or try to see if you can get some people which are going to be present to hand out very small little folders that they can be handed out with the confirmation you are already signed in the World Peace Treaty. We got to inform. They don't know. We got to distribute it out, this beauty. You can not be more proud of that piece of paper that you already covered the whole country. And you as a knowledge seeker are part of it. Inform people, it's done. They are part of it. They are not outside. They are within. They just don't know because we need to reach out to inform them. And I think that message will travel much faster. Don't stop sending it to your world leaders. No problem. But I think it has become to a point that is more important to inform your neighbors. You know something? You're part of the peace treaty. Our country, we can be proud because we are signed in, to give them the confidence they're part of it. But we're going to have to distribute it. I'm going to share something. It has gone that bad. That's why changes are coming. Rick, if you allow me to share the screen, I will share something which is shocking, absolutely shocking to me. And I just found out just before we started this, because I was working and posting in the background. Just give me a second to find it. If it is the right one, I don't know. Let me first locate it because I don't know exactly where it is. Vince, are you there? Oh, I got it. Yeah, there it is. Just pay attention. This is on my Facebook, Carolina de Rose. Yeah? This is the keshfoundation.org/peace to send people to the peace treaty, to what the Rick was showing just before. Just read what is said there above. We removed this post because it looks like spam and it doesn't follow our community standards. When I remove peace at the back of it, I can send it out. But because I put /peace on it, that takes you straight away to the peace treaty, I'm a spam. Can you imagine? So
yeah, I think
we're gonna have to find ways that you still can get that message out, but in a different way because they block you. So we can't even send them directly through the signing of the peace treaty. So you're gonna have to be very creative to be able to get out.
By the way, there are different versions of that. So once it referred against community standards, which is idiocy because the community standard doesn't say you cannot talk about peace. And other version says you can post this because it has a blocked link. The content you are trying to share includes a link that our security systems detected to be unsafe.
Yeah.
So what unsafe? What is unsafe on it?
Well, Shandor, there's things such as there's a link that goes nowhere. There's a link. In fact, the main link on that site goes to a forum that doesn't go anywhere.
But this link goes exactly to the World Peace Treaty, keshfoundation.org/about/WPT. And by the way, keshfoundation.org/peace also redirects to this one.
Unfortunately, the World Peace Treaty is a PDF, and Facebook doesn't do links for PDFs.
It's not a PDF. It is a main HTML page which has several links to several PDFs.
Yes, that's probably what Facebook is picking up. It's a link to a bunch of PDFs. It doesn't refer PDFs. It doesn't acknowledge them as a valid link, as a valid place to go to send people.
So how can we solve this problem?
Put it in as an HTML, as a page that it gets referred to, and I don't think there'll be a problem with it. If you're going to link to the peace treaty, then link to the peace treaty rather than a page that's about the peace treaty that gets referred to from another page that has Keshe Foundation /peace, which there is no page /peace. It refers to this page that Shandor is referring to. So there's already like a referral to this page, which Facebook does not like referrals to other pages. It should be a direct link that Facebook can accept, in my opinion.
And do you have that, Rick?
No,
I've
we
tried
don't
a
have
few
that.
direct links.
We don't have an HTML page
Rick,
for the peace treaty.
I've tried a few direct links from other pages on the Keshe Foundation site, and they're blocking those as well. So we have to find another solution.
But we don't have the peace treaty as an HTML page, though. It's always as a PDF referral. And if we just have a link directly to a page that has the HTML just laid out so people can read it immediately, they don't have to download the PDF. And this is what I think we should have, because we have all these referrals to the peace treaty, but we don't have an actual page that has the peace treaty without it going to a PDF.
But this is the page itself, you see? The same link about /WPT, /WNR.
Yes, but the link is /peace, which gets referred to this page.
Yeah, and if I share this page, what do you think what happens? If I would like to post that?
Rick, I'm going to have to go out for about 2 minutes. I will come back in.
Okay. Yeah, we probably don't need to maybe get into all this right now in this discussion here. This is back-end stuff that we should be able to handle somehow.
Meanwhile, on the Facebook, I'm getting every day something with something very indecent, with very explicit sexual postures and so on, and that complies to the
Sander, I think they have understood that they can change it and they can adjust it. So I'm going to wait till Vince or Rick or Flint comes back with adjustment, and Stanley, they're going to be working on it in the background to reposition it so that we can at least work freely with it, that we don't get blocked, because I got a lot of complaints. Your link is broken. It says it's this and that. So people are even scared to go there because they think they're going to end up somewhere wrong. So we're going to have to find a solution for it.
Yeah, let's set it up different. Find a solution that Facebook will accept. I don't think they're blocking it just because it's a peace initiative. I doubt that very much. It's just a technical issue. They think it's a bad site because some other link is not correct in it or something. Maybe we can just set up a new one and follow their standards that way.
Okay. Is it time for wrapping up, Rick?
I believe so. I think so.
Okay.
Caroline, that would be great.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Oh, we have got to.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened. Caroline, you asked for support for peace in the world due to the upcoming announcement of the USA. And
we already, the core team already answered that this will be the day of peace.
Oh, okay. I thought we are going to write our wish about that.
No, that is sufficient enough, because the majority of the countries have already shown their support. So we just need to confirm that this will be the day of peace.
And I'm present in the day of peace wish. Thank you very much.
I am present.
I'm present.
Present with that, yes.
I'm present too.
I am present.
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 Okay, thank you, everyone.
And thank you very much. And whatever happens, we just have to be patient. Our souls are working faster than anyone can even imagine. I thank you all. It was a beautiful presentation. Thank you for all the teams working in the background. I thank you, knowledge seekers. And we'll see you later on this week. Rick has his platform tomorrow morning. I got my platform tomorrow afternoon. You're all welcome in both of them. We enjoy your company. And most probably we see you all together again on Thursday morning platform with Mr. Keshe. Thank you so much.
Very good, Caroline. Thank you for helping elevate our conversation today so that we can get a better handle on what it is that we can do as souls. Okay, let's wrap it up for today. It's been the 37th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace for Tuesday, May 8th, 2018. And I think Flint has a video for us to play to go out with. And we'll complete today's workshop. Thank you, everybody, for attending.
Hello. We are the Keshe Foundation. Our mission is to bring peace on earth and join humanity with the universal community. We wish and work to bring man as equal to all beings in the universe. By teaching plasma science and technology equally to everyone, no one is left out and no one is abused due to lack of knowledge. By donating to us, you can help achieve this goal. keshefoundation.org/donate.
The process of understanding is very simple. The process is, as I explained last time, I explained more in detail. We are created out of the rays within the center of the universe. In interaction and reduction in strength and division by the strength in certain strength fields, in collection of the totality of the expansion of the universe, some energies, some dynamic fields have come together. Over billions of years, these fields lead to the creation of what we call the sun. Where the plasma gathers together. The same process repeats again because the sun is the same as the energy center of the universe. Now, the heavier, the larger amount of the energy which is collected in this span of the universe, called the sun, that irradiates out, does the same thing again. radiates its fields out, and in interaction with the itself, with the fields of itself, leads to creation of planet. In that process of the creation of planet, the same process happens again. In the interaction of the fields of the earth with its environment and cooling and exchange with the strength of the other things in the environment of the space of the solar system, leads to creation of man, cell, matter state. And that itself, in coming together and slowing down in certain ways, as we call, leads to another sun. We call the soul of the man. This is the truth about the life and creation of the man. But if the soul of the man can understand and absorb and be correct with his conduct, he can become the strength of the fields and carry the strength of the field of the planet which came to this creation. And if the soul can understand with the same process, can interact, can be correct, can absorb with itself the totality of the strength of what it needs, it shall become the sun. And then the same soul has the energy that it can absorb within the solar system, within the galaxy, shall become the center of the universe. Earth, we call it the rain, come from and goes back to. In the solar system, we call it planetary system. We come from the rays, we become the planet, and we go back to the mother. The same thing happens with the galaxies, with the solar systems, which they get absorbed back in and they chewed up back into the universe. The life, the process of existence in the universe is the same. It doesn't matter on what exchange and what extent. So, what is the man fighting for? Why do we fight for something which has come from the point of the creation, and in the process it goes back to the creation? The soul of the man, as the energy of the earth, gives the face of the man, the face of the earth, and that process is the same for the soul of the man. Our soul, in reduction in strength, in interaction with the emotion of the field of the environment, leads to manifestation of the existence of the man. But once it's completed, does it need the face? Or can it be and becomes free from it, what we call the soul of the man, be free and detached from its existence? Our soul is part of the process of the creation. The key to one question, who man shall be in the future, to be answered. As we saw the sun became the earth, and as we saw the earth became man's soul, what would be the destiny of the soul of the man now becomes free at the point of departure from physicality. Would it become the sun for creation of another life, or many lives, or correction of lives? This shall be, and this is how it happens. When you create a soul which is not correct, which is misconduct by itself, cannot give, you lead to the creation of this next cycle of creation, which has started the wrong way, the wrong strength. This is one thing the man has never understood. You become the creator of another universe, another cycle. And this is what you have to judge within the structure of the soul of the man. What would I like that cycle to be? In the physical life, we create children. In the dimension of the life of the soul of the man, what that man, what that soul will create. If man has thought up to now, that's it, my end, my point, when I die is finished, there's as much fallacy that when the sun is destroyed in any shape or form, there shall be nothing left. But we know the part of the sun becomes part of the galaxy and becomes part of new life. So shall be the soul of the man. The judgment of the man has to be according to what he sees the future his soul can conduct to be. The day of judgment is for the man, not in front of the Creator. That what my soul judges to be and what shall create. Man never understood and shall never understand till can solve this dilemma within itself. The reality is very, very, very real. And that is, as we've seen, the energy of the galaxy become the sun, the energy of the sun has become the earth, and the energy of the earth has become the soul of the man. So shall be the soul of the man, which is the energy itself, another cycle of life. How can you change when you don't understand? How can you change the process of understanding if you do not understand the process of the creation? Do we need to extend the understanding of the man that what is the future he brings? We care about our children, what education they get, what they wear, how happy they'll be, where they sleep. Now the man has to be careful and consider what life shall my soul create, because those are the children of your soul. As we see, the rays of the sun has become a planet and 7 billion children of it. 7 billion unlimited, which is growing. So the soul of the man will go through the same process. How many billions and subdivisions and sub-matter state of the physicality of the man your soul shall create? Would it be the soul of wars and conflict and forever killing? Or would it be the soul of this, let's say, solar system which is peaceful? This is the truth and the reality about the soul of the man. First of all, as I said many times recently, we never understood that the soul of the man is within the structure of the man. And now that we understood, we understand on departure from the physicality of the man, the same process will carry on as it did for a star, a planet. And the soul of the man becomes another energy source, a higher order, which itself leads to the creation. It becomes the star, it becomes the center of the new cycle of creation. This is what the human race has to understand. The cycle actually starts from the point of death and not finishes at the point of death. In so many ways, if one understands, is as the dusts, specks of dust came together to make the earth in the solar system, so has the specks of the atoms has come to be the creator of man. And the essence of the creation of the specks of dust on the solar system has led to the creation of man. So shall be the fields from the soul of the man which lead to creation of another cycle of life. What kind of life man would like to have to be created by his soul? This is the day of judgment. This is what man never understood. Now you have to understand. You have no choice. Up to today you were not aware of it. From today you are aware of it. You are responsible for it. Your conduct has to be to elevate your soul. That in elevating the soul, what you become the creator of stands correct in the conduct of the citizens. We don't give a fairy tale. This is the truth. But as you've seen, the process does not stop with one sun. The cycle carries on. It's very interesting in how humanity now knows in fact to handle the fact. It'll take decades for man to understand, and then you understand those who become the tools of war, the tools of conflict. They have less, they have nothing to start with. They have to become the dust in the solar systems of the others till the day they learn more, as they cannot create a new cycle through their own soul. This is the elevation of the soul of the man. To be part of the creation of a beautiful life for the next cycle. When you don't have it, you have to become another cell in the body of the structure of the bigger, for you to be just there that you can done when you could have been the soul of the man. They say, do not create fear. I give you the point of love for creation. If you cared about your children on this planet to have the best, your true children come out of your own soul in the coming time. How would you like to educate them? How would you like to be when you are in conflict with yourself and the cause of so much mayhem? This is the truth. And the man will take a long time to understand, as now that we understand the soul of the man is an operator for the creation of the future extent of the life of the man. Whatever is gathered by the soul at the end becomes his point of reference of his own creation of his own dimension. But the strangest thing is, what he creates from his soul shall become the creator of the other souls. This is the beauty about the creation, and one understands it, understands no limitation.